is up, guys? We are here in my backyard. I did skip a video the other day and I'm sorry about that. It's just been so incredibly beautiful here on the island. I've just been trying to film as much as I possibly can, which is actually a funny story because our GoPro got stolen. So I'm going to be telling you that story about our GoPro in the first part of this video and showing you some of the clips from that adventure. And definitely stay tuned for the second part of this video because that's going to be the skate clips. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and please enjoy this video. This area is always a little bit freaky because it's a little bit sharky. I mean, it's not too bad. There are sharks everywhere on this island, but it's a little bit more known for having sharks, and it's also a really shallow reef. The waves aren't too big today, so we're not really that concerned about it. It's just like paddling through some really deep water to get there. That is a little bit on the sketchier side, but it'll be all good. So right now I'm going to be telling you the story of how our GoPro was lost, stolen, and then found. So the other day, it started off as a picture-perfect day in Hawaii. It was the most picture-perfect day. The sun was shining. We saw that there were waves on the surf report on the south side. And it's really unusual for the south side to have waves during the winter because South Shore only gets waves during the summer. So we were stoked and we were going to go head out for a surf. So we wanted to try out our new mouth mount for our GoPro. If you don't know what a mouth mount is, you could probably look it up on Google. It's just basically a way to hold your GoPro in your mouth. That's pretty comfortable. And we wanted to try that out. And so we went to this spot, and when we got there, we thought it looked really good. We were like, oh cool, there's waves. And we paddled out and soon realized that the waves weren't that great, and it was really low tide. So the reef was pretty much exposed in some areas, and Ryan ended up catching a wave, really small wave, and rode it right onto dry reef, basically onto dry rocks, and ended up scratching up his back super badly. So we basically paddled out into the lineup, caught one wave, and then paddled back in because Ryan had a pretty bad lump on his back. Ryan is really good at surfing, and he's just an all-around good wave rider, so it's usually not him getting hurt, but the ocean is a really unpredictable beast, and it just wasn't our day for sure. So here's what his back actually looked like, and he got cut through his wetsuit. There was a pretty big lump and a pretty big scratch. He was totally fine and upbeat about it, but that looked really gross to me. I was just like, oh, do you need to go to the doctor? Because that's pretty disgusting. He must have fallen right onto dry rocks, and like I said, this was not his day, but he still had a super good attitude about it. And all these clips that you're seeing right now are actually from the GoPro that we found. So we did get some pretty cool clips, and we got to see what the mouth mount looked like. And actually, we got the clip of Ryan falling onto the dry reef. So you'll be able to see that in a little bit. Anyways, back to the story. And so we were just loading up the boards back into the car, and my cousin Kenny puts the GoPro right on the grass. And we both saw it there, and we were just like, oh, Kenny better grab that, just like in our minds. And then we kind of just loaded up the boards, and I was just so focused on like trying to stop the bleeding on Ryan that I just didn't even think about the GoPro after that. And we drove away, and I got home, and I was like, oh cool, let's take a look at some of the clips we got. We didn't get that many, but hopefully we got some. And I just thought, like, oh my gosh, did Kenny leave the GoPro on the grass? And I was just like, Kenny, did you grab the GoPro? And Kenny was like, no. And my heart just sank. I was like, oh my gosh, our $500 whatever GoPro is stolen. I just bought that mouth mount, and just put on my float for the first time. That's a pretty expensive piece of equipment to lose, especially with all the clips on it that are kind of just like irreplaceable, you know? Like, I didn't download everything on my GoPro onto my computer yet, so we had some pretty important clips on there that we just hadn't been able to use yet. And so we went back over there, and driving over there the whole way, everyone was going so slow. And we were trying to get there as fast as possible without getting pulled over. And we get there, and it's just gone. There's no one around. There's no cars anywhere, and we're just like searching around frantically, asking every single person at the beach if they've seen our GoPro or if they've seen anyone around the area where we were parked. And at that point, I'm just like, okay, it's gone. We're gonna have to buy a new GoPro. Kenny, you're buying me a new GoPro. Like, this is like a lost cause at this point. So we looked around, and we were about to leave, and this guy who was working on a construction site walks up to his truck, and I was just like, hey, have you seen a GoPro? And he's like, no, I really haven't. And he was about to drive away, and we were just kept talking about it. And he's like, wait, let me call one of my guys, see if he saw it. And he called his guy, and his guy had taken it. And we were so happy, because the next day we went to go pick it up from the guy, and he said if we wouldn't have claimed it today, he definitely would have kept it. So we were so stoked. We bought him a pack of beer, and we were just so grateful that he was a good person and he decided to give it back. He really didn't have to, so we were super grateful. So this is the wave that killed Ryan, and he's paddling for it, and you can already see how shallow it is. Half a foot deep, and right here he goes down. That's probably when he hurt his back, and right now you can pretty much see that it's really shallow. It's probably about a foot deep and less than that when the waves come, and he's just chilling on the reef right now, getting wrecked. When you surf, you always have moments like this where you're like, oh, I probably should not have done that, and you end up having to walk on the reef to get back out to the lineup. But it's all good, and he had such a good attitude about it, and we're just glad that he ended up being totally okay. It was super cool to look back on the footage though, and he hasn't seen this yet, so I'm really excited to show it to him. Thank you so much for watching part 1 of my video. If you could leave a comment below and let me know on the types of stuff you like to see in my videos, if there's something that you don't like about my videos, or something that you do like about my videos, I would totally like to know so I can improve them for the future. So if you could just write a comment, let me know what is working or isn't working for you. And this next part of the video, part 2, is just going to be some raw skating clips at my local park in Hawaii Kai. And it's just some minor mini ramp clips, so nothing too major, but definitely a ton of fun. So thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in a couple days.